Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our 2:30 streaming show. I'm Jamie French.
And I'm Robinson Miles. Well, as we end the week, there is, of course, a lot going on across the tri-state. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. We're going to start with new information on a story that we've been following all this week. We first brought you this on Monday, and that is, of course, the DoorDash driver accused of pepper spraying an order she delivered, who is now in jail facing charges. Court records show Courtney Stevenson from Ballard County, Kentucky, is charged with battery and consumer product tampering.
So Mark Carden and his wife live in northern Vanderburgh County, and they ordered food through DoorDash last weekend. He sent us this video from his security camera that he says shows Stevenson pepper spraying the bag of food after she dropped it off. Deputies say they spoke to Stevenson, who said that she was doing deliveries while she was in town visiting family. Deputies say that she claimed she was spraying a spider. Now, after Vanderburgh County deputies identified her, she was found this morning near her hometown and booked into the McCracken County Jail. Now, her mugshot is not available just yet.
Now, looking elsewhere, we have another story that we have an update on. Former Indiana State Senator Bob Deig has been appointed to the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission. Governor Mike Braun opened applications for the IURC a few months ago. Now, this means when utility companies want to raise rates, they must ask Deig and others on the committee for permission. Deig says his goal is to listen to the people and focus on what's fair, factual, and follow state law.
Yeah, it's been 16 years since Southern Indiana has had representation on the IURC. Evansville Mayor Stephanie Terry says Deig is an excellent choice for that spot. So Deig will start his new commissioner job come January.
Now, for our final headline here today, the Tri-State Food Bank is working to help families during the holiday season. Now, hundreds of cars lined up for the organization's annual holiday mobile food distribution event today.
Yeah, that's right. Volunteers handed out meal kits to a total of 500 families at both locations, Central High School and Washington Square Mall. Now, these meal kits contain all of the items needed for families to prepare a proper holiday meal. Officials say they're going to be doing another one of these. They'll have another food distribution event coming up on Saturday, December 20th. That will be at Evansville's C.K. Newsom Center.
So, of course, there is a lot more going on around the tri-state today. We've got our reporters all over getting all the details for us. So be sure to check back in at 14 News at 4, 5, and 6, and later tonight at 10. But you can't say we're not self-aware. We know why you're here. You want to hear from Arden.
Oh,
Arden
you
is
do.
here, looking forward to all the stuff we've got over the next few days. So stick around. Arden is finally coming.
Yeah, and she's got an alert day to talk about, so she's pretty important. So stand by for just a moment.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices. Stay informed on your local news and weather.
Good afternoon. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory, and we have a lot to talk about. And let's start with what happened last night. We had snow showers roll through the tri-state, so if you're curious how much snow fell, obviously we didn't get a report from everybody, but we did have a pretty wide range across the region. As expected, those to the southwest got very little to no snow, up to around a ½ inch then as you got into Henderson and Owensboro. Then moving northeast, it got more into the 1 to 2 inch range across much of southwest Indiana. But then up in northern Du Bois County, we had a report of 4½ inches of snow there. And as you got out of the tri-state, places like Davies, Martin, and Orange counties had reports more like 6 inches of snow. So the tri-state just barely missed that major snowstorm there, and many of us ended up missing out on the snow almost entirely. We did get a little more than an inch of snow in Evansville, but with the sunny skies and temperatures warming into the 40s today, that snow has melted off for the most part across our region. There are big changes on the way this weekend, though. While today we've got temperatures in the 40s, clouds moving in later this evening. Saturday is going to be cold and cloudy, highs only reaching the 30s. There is a chance of some snow on Saturday, then bitter cold on Sunday. We're talking about lows in the single digits, highs in the mid-teens, but the wind chills are going to be well below zero, especially Sunday morning, which is why Sunday is a first alert weather day. Now, I mentioned the snow showers that moved through overnight. Those pushed east out of the tri-state by about 5, 6 o'clock this morning. So most of the day has been dry and even mostly sunny, but we do have more clouds starting to build in from the west now. Those will really push into the tri-state as we go through this evening and into the night tonight. Overnight will be mostly cloudy but dry. Saturday, notice some snow showers just to the north of the tri-state Saturday morning. Most of the day Saturday will be cloudy but dry. Saturday evening, there is the chance we could see a few snow showers swinging through the tri-state. So this would mostly be late Saturday afternoon into early Saturday night. Just a few brief snow showers Saturday evening. Then the clouds and any chance of snow push off to the southeast. By Sunday, it'll be mostly sunny, but that's when that extreme cold sets in. So we're not expecting much from these snow showers on Saturday. You could see a coating up to an inch in the areas highlighted in blue here, mainly along and north of I-64. For a majority of the tri-state, we're going to see little to no snow on Saturday. The Weather Service thinking along similar lines here, again showing just that northern end of the tri-state, possibly seeing some very minimal impacts from this, just some light snow Saturday evening. If you're traveling this weekend, though, keep in mind they will get more snow to our north. So if you're headed to places like Champaign, Terre Haute, Indianapolis, those places will get more snow on Saturday than we will. So if you're traveling north, you may run into a few minor issues up that way. What is going to affect everyone, though, is the cold. This was just issued. There is now a cold weather advisory for our entire region, including the entire tri-state, from midnight Saturday night until noon on Sunday. So really just those early morning hours on Sunday, that's where we're going to see this extremely cold air set in, and so cold that they have issued a weather advisory for that, as this could reach dangerous levels, a situation where frostbite and things like that would be able to set in very quickly if you don't take the proper precautions. So let's talk about our temperatures, because right now it's really not too bad out there. We've got temperatures in the 30s along the northern edge of the tri-state there, but most of us are sitting in the low to mid 40s. It's 42 in Evansville, 45 in Owensboro. That's probably as warm as we're going to get. We'll gradually fall back through the 40s this evening, then through the 30s overnight. By the end of the night, it's going to be mostly cloudy and chilly with lows in the mid to upper 20s. But then we just don't warm up a lot throughout the day tomorrow. Saturday is going to be cloudy. We've got a cold wind coming in from the northwest. So our temperatures starting the day in the mid to upper 20s are only going to make it into the low to mid 30s at best Saturday. And then that sharply colder air starts to set in Saturday evening through Saturday night. By the end of the night, Saturday night into early Sunday morning, that's when we're under that cold weather advisory. Temperatures are going to bottom out in the single digits. Then Sunday afternoon, we are only going to make it into the mid-teens. Notice we then drop into the single digits again Sunday night into Monday morning, but then we quickly warm back up. Temperatures climbing into the 30s Monday, 40s Tuesday, and then 50s through the back half of next week. But this weekend, it's going to be a short-lived cold snap, but it is going to be an intense and dangerous cold snap on Sunday. So these are the actual temperatures, but I mentioned we're also going to have a breeze. Let's talk about how cold it may actually feel. By the end of Saturday night into early Sunday morning, actual temperatures will be in the single digits. But those wind chill values are probably going to be running closer to 10 degrees below zero. Again, this is frostbite territory here. This is a situation where it could be dangerous if you are not taking the proper precautions. Sunday afternoon, our temperatures climb into the mid-teens, but the wind chills will still only make it into the single digits. So very cold all day Sunday, but we should at least get back above zero for our wind chills by Sunday afternoon. Then Sunday night and a Monday morning, our temperatures drop into the single digits again, but the wind will be calm. So we will see very little to no impact from that as far as wind chill is concerned. Now, single digits is plenty cold all by itself, but we won't have that cold tacking on top of that and making it feel even colder. So what should you be doing with this information? What are you going to do about the fact that it's going to be so cold on Sunday? These are some tips for both indoors and outdoors. First of all, in your home, make sure that today and tomorrow you're checking your heating system and your carbon monoxide detectors. This is just good advice anytime we're getting into the winter season. You want to get that done. There's a good chance a lot of you are going to be using space heaters this weekend. It's going to be very cold. Your furnace may have trouble keeping up. Be very careful with those. Winter is when we see the most house fires, and largely that is due to unsafe heating practices. So make sure that you are using those space heaters safely. Keep them away from flammable objects. Don't let them just run and run and run when there's nobody in the room to monitor them. Make sure that you turn them off if you're leaving the room or going to sleep or anything like that. You want somebody to be able to see if that space heater starts to smoke or something like that. Also, this weekend you may want to run a trickle of water in your pipes just to avoid frozen pipes, right? You just barely put it at a drip on your faucets just to keep a little water running so that your pipes don't freeze. You may also want to open your cabinets so that the warm air can get into the cabinets and under to those pipes. And then also make sure you have an emergency kit. We're not expecting snow or ice or anything like that, so I wouldn't anticipate power outages, but you never know. Your heater might not be able to keep up. It might freeze up on you, something like that. Even if you still have power, you might lose heat, things like that. So just have an emergency kit ready to go. Blankets, flashlights, some non-perishable food items. That's, again, just good winter safety advice. If you do have to venture out in this cold, people are still going to have church, work, things like that to do on Sunday. Make sure you dress in layers. You want your first layer to be a wicking layer, the next to be insulating, and then the third to be waterproof. Cover all exposed skin. All out this weekend, okay? Hat, gloves, scarf, face mask. You don't want any exposed skin at all when the temperatures are this cold. Try and be outside for as little time as possible. Really limit your time outdoors, especially children and elderly, which can be even more susceptible to the cold than the rest of us. And stay dry. Don't be out in this kind of weather working up a sweat. Don't, venture out into any water of any kind. Wet clothes increase heat loss, and so that can be very dangerous as well. Again, we have that first alert weather day in place just for Sunday. A very intense but very brief cold snap from Saturday night through the day Sunday, and then we see conditions improving starting on Monday. Hello to Rose, John, Catherine, thank you guys for tuning in. Zach asking about strong to severe thunderstorms. I am not anticipating any kind of strong to severe thunderstorms, and he's asking specifically about next week into Christmas week. I'm not anticipating that. This is a look at the forecast this weekend and then into next week. I really only see a chance of rain probably Thursday. We may get a few showers Wednesday or Friday, but really it looks like the best chance would probably be Thursday. Right now it looks like that's going to be light scattered rain showers. It's going to be too warm for snow, and I don't think we're going to have enough energy in the atmosphere or sharp enough contrast then behind that system to spur any kind of thunderstorms or severe weather of any kind. So a chance of rain on Thursday, but I think it's just that, a chance of rain. Just a few scattered showers, no severe weather or thunderstorms to worry about. For those of you who are curious about the week of Christmas, right? So this takes us through this weekend and then all of next week. Then the next weekend, that's the last weekend before Christmas. So when we look at that, what's interesting is we see this warming trend continue. I showed you we climb into the 50s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It seems like then next weekend, all the way up through maybe Christmas, we're going to see temperatures running above average. So the way I'm looking at it, I think we've got a better chance of seeing a Christmas in the 50s or maybe even the 60s than we do having any kind of white Christmas. In general, it does look like we have a warming trend as we get into Christmas week. There is also a trend of near to slightly above average precipitation. So we may have more rain chances at some point as we get into Christmas week, but it's too early to be able to tell for sure which day that would be, when exactly that would happen, but possibly as we get into next weekend and then early into the following week, which would be the last few days leading up to Christmas on Thursday, we are going to be expecting warmer than average temperatures and maybe a little bit of rain there. So again, our odds of a white Christmas are low at any time. This is a look at the past 30 years and then all the way back to the past 70 years. Most Christmases for us are green. We don't have a lot of white Christmases just historically. 56 of the last 70 years have not included snow on Christmas. And so there's not very good odds in general for us to have a white Christmas, but those seem especially low this year as it seems we may have warmer than average temperatures as we head into Christmas week. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions outside of Zach, which I already answered. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I hope everybody takes those cold weather safety tips to heart and really bundles up and do everything you can to stay warm and stay safe out there this week. Again, don't be shocked, especially north of I-64 if you get a little snow on Saturday, but I don't think it's going to be a real big deal. I'm more concerned about that cold weather that's going to spread across the entire tri-state on Sunday, especially Sunday morning. So be very careful of that. All right. I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend and stay warm out there.